What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to GDOCtalk. Weed and Matthew had to go, so I'm gonna throw them under the bus. They had to leave, so it's just. But again, my name is Raina Emor. Joining me, like always, is Jay Canradine.
Yep, that's me.
So this last topic, we can. Oh my gosh, Pixel, are you kidding me?
No, he's good.
As you may be noticing, again, we didn't record this one for video because our camera was not working. Thank you, Canon, for presetting the whole auto shut off piece of garbage
What's up
on
with
the
that?
camera.
That's annoying.
But anyway, we'll figure out a way to try and get the video things. But if you like these audio ones, feel free to leave in the comment section below if you enjoy the audio ones, or if you want them on podcast, we will try and figure out some way to do that. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys actually enjoy watching us wave our phalanges.
Yeah.
So we'll try to get the video back.
Our fingers. Scientific thing. Okay. Anyway, I hear Pixel a little bit.
Do you?
Yeah, he's on your cord.
Oh, sorry.
Good. Anyway, okay. So this last topic, mainly we can pretty much go on about this one, but it's the whole indie scene.
Mm-hmm.
Good grief, Pixel. Indie games are taking kind of over, and it's not a bad thing. Like,
No,
I don't
it's
think
not a
that
bad
there's a
thing at
lot
all.
of good games coming out.
A lot of
that
super creative.
But you know what's happening with the AAAs? Like,
I don't know.
first party studios?
And a lot of them are shutting. Those first party studios are like, downsizing.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing a lot of crazy stuff.
But it's like, you hear all these games that are coming out, and I mean, I love a lot of indie games. Like, first of all, Impossible Games is one of my favorite games of all time. That little square jumping over things. Shout out to Rooster Teeth on that one, because that's what made me get into that. But yeah, I mean, but it's games that are just, they don't have to be as complicated as a lot of people or think they are. But I mean, people say Journey is an amazing game, and that,
I think one of the first indie games that just blew my mind was Braid.
And that was for Xbox? Is that for Xbox?
I think...
Or no, it's actually...
I played it on my Mac. That was the first place I played it.
Okay, I get confused with Braid. Is Braid the one that's like
It's all
the
time-based.
rewind one?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
The one where you can never die. When it dies, it just pauses.
See, I get mixed up
And then you
between
gotta
Braid and Bastion for some reason.
Yeah,
Braid and
it's
Bastion, like,
by name.
yeah.
But Braid is the one that was all done, in kind of a watercolor painting kind of look
Yeah.
to it.
It looked beautiful.
And it had that side-scrolling, crazy cool music. But then, that one was the first. I think that's probably the first indie game that just captivated me. That when I played it, I was hooked and had to play it all the way through. And then I was like, wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Telltale does Telltale individually?
No, I would consider it indies.
They're indie game? All right. Yeah.
Even though they become huge.
Yeah, they've become
But they're
ginormous.
not but they're still just published by themselves.
Yeah.
They're not part of some big huge thing,
Okay.
They're not part of some big huge thing,
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Telltale is an amazing studio, from The Walking Dead to even their, other movie-based ones, like Jurassic Park wasn't great at all. Actually, I don't think it was good at all.
Yeah.
But, Back to the Future had its moments, and then...
I love that one. That was a good one.
But, like, with... I think... but, yeah, Telltale is a studio that was, like... that really came out of nowhere. I mean... they've made games in the past, but like as soon as Walking Dead came out, I think that just shot up, and it won Game of the Year from IGN, I think. And it was an indie game, because I remember that, because IGN said like it was one of the very few indie games that won Game of the Year.
Yeah, I mean they were making other games before that, like Sam and Max and stuff.
Oh yeah,
no one really, except for like someone like me who played the originals and watched the cartoon. I was the only one who really loved it, but people I knew. But I think it was Walking Dead when put them on the map.
Yeah.
But here's a good question, and I'm curious about is what makes an indie game an indie game?
Yeah, because now it's
draw
like
that line, because indie games are starting to get so huge.
I think
It's like
I think indie game Because like Mojang,
I mean,
like Minecraft's an indie game.
It's all, well, that means short. The word indie is short for independent.
Yeah.
So it's like
And they're by the-
independently funded, independently produced.
Yeah, I mean like Minecraft's an indie game, and it's ginormous, but like it's still an indie game.
So I guess what's not an indie game would be like a company that's being funded and sponsored and published by someone else. Like, you might be a developer, but then like EA comes in and says, "We will publish your game." That would probably not be an indie game. That's kind of how I guess I'd draw the line.
Yeah, because like if it's not, you're not affiliated with like EA or Activision or Ubisoft or Microsoft or Sony, but you're like you have your team, and you just make this. You're making games for the love of making games. I think that's what it kind of goes into.
Yeah, but then of course, in how the definition I just gave makes no sense, because then I would say that a game published and a game produced and published by Nintendo would be considered an indie game because it's all one person. So obviously, my definition totally doesn't work.
I'm trying to look up here the full-on definition of
I would
indie
love
game.
to know that.
This is, let's see here. Trying to find it. I'm gonna look on Wikipedia.
According to Wikipedia and Legend.
Yeah. It says independent video game, commonly referred to as indie game, are video games created by individuals of small teams, generally without video game publishers' financial support.
Yeah,
Indie games often focus on innovation and rely on digital distribution. Indie gaming has seen a rise in the later half of the 2000s decade, primarily due to the online distribution methods and development tools. Some indie games have become very similar, successfully financially, such as Braid, World of Goo, and Minecraft.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, World of Goo. Oh man, you just brought up another one I loved. World of Goo.
Yeah, that's like, you have it on the Wii and the iPad, don't you?
Pretty much every platform I have, yeah, they have it.
You have PC? You have it on Mac?
I did get it for that one, but the mouse thing wasn't the Wii remote was like a natural. It was just natural.
Yeah. But like a game just came out, which is gonna date this part, which was Shovel Knight, and IGN gave that a 9. Like I think Colin Moriarty gave it a 9.
I guess I haven't figured out why that one's so cool. I have to look it up someday.
It's like a full-on retro look to a lot of stuff, and it's for the 3DS. I think it's like $15. But that's another thing. It's like these indie games are like $10, $5, $1. Like, and then, so, which is meaning, like, games don't have to be $60 to go out and buy it. Like, you don't have to go buy a $60 Call of Duty to go and enjoy a game.
Yeah, and I think you know what, I'm gonna give Apple credit for that, because that was when Apple started coming with this Apple Store and started bringing games into their whole iPod Touches and their iPhones. They were the ones that started making games like $9.99, $4.99, $1.99.
Yeah.
And they were
selling
them like hotcakes.
I think Final Fantasy is like $30 though.
Yes.
But like, yeah, still.
Because that's a game company who refuses to lower their prices. But all these people were they were selling these things like crazy, and I know that Sony, when they came out with their PSP, they're like trying to compare themselves, like these are real games, those are just throwaway games. It's like nowadays there are some quite classic games that are on there. But
it's the thing is like with the Vita right now, there's
struggling.
It's struggling with it, and I think it's because of those. It's because of the smartphones from Android to Windows things is the reason why. But here's the thing though. Why is it that the Vita is struggling, but then you have the Nintendo 3DS and it's successfully? I mean, it won.
The 3DS can't be replicated for what they do.
That's true. They are the only company that has done 3D correctly.
Yes, 3D and two-screen, and it's two-screen touch thing. You couldn't even put that game. You couldn't port it over. Compared to like games for the Vita, you totally port that sucker right over. I mean, you really could.
Well, now they're doing that whole touchpad thing and the whole it's a touchscreen,
Yeah.
But it's like why is it that when I play games like, you know, BioShock Infinite, and I'm like, wow, this is an awesome, amazing game, published by major company and everything like that. And then you go and play games like The Walking Dead and have the same emotional ride of holy cow, this person's dead, and it's like, or holy cow, I didn't see that coming. And then like I haven't played it, but Gone Home, well, yeah. So just so you guys know, but like Gone Home is supposedly like a really really emotional game.
Yeah, I've heard about it, you know, and I've been curious to look into it. And nowadays, even, you know, there are like, you know, like Sony and Microsoft now are starting to like pick up these indie gamer developers. So it's like, are they now indie games?
Yeah.
Like for instance, you know, the company that made Bastion, right? They get totally like picked up by Sony, and then now came out with that game called Transistor.
Is that the one where it's like a computer thing?
It's kind of like,
she has like a sword.
yes,
That's like
and it's kind of the same angle kind of play as like Bastion was.
Yeah.
And same art style a little bit, but it was like, is that an indie game? Because they were totally funded by Sony.
That's true. And I mean, if we go back to this definition of like, which it was.
I mean, it was a small development company, yes, but now what? I mean, I think they are starting to gray the lines. That is starting to become the line is starting to get.
Well, it says without
fuzzy.
video game publisher. So if they don't have a video game publisher, they're considered an indie developing game.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they're indie anymore, because now if Sony's publishing their game,
yeah.
if it says Sony Entertainment on it and then their name, then I don't think that's what like. But
yeah, I think they're starting to gray the line though. I think you're starting to see that a lot.
But like, the thing is like a lot of people won't even play indie games. Like they'll just go, oh, it's independent game. Obviously, it's not good. But it's like, why?
They're living in the old times.
I know,
man,
but but I mean, with the power of PC and the internet, like it was saying in the Wikipedia article, it's like because of this whole internet scene, it's made it a lot easier for companies or little teams. You know, you can get a group of buddies, and make something like Goat Simulator, or like, you know, you play this crazy thing, but it's like, I don't know, it's just awesome to see that, you know, because without the internet, we wouldn't be seeing these amazing.
No, you wouldn't. No, the internet changed everything. Like, it changed everything in the world. Not everything, but, you know, the world really. That's actually something I think about sometimes. I'm like, you know, I'm kind of proud to have lived in before and after.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to see the whole transition, you know, as I grew up as a kid without it. And now all of a sudden, you know, I'm a college age kid when it's like it comes out.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm starting to like, you know, things change. It's like, this is, whoa, kind of cool.
Yeah, and I kind of came out there. I kind of came out. What you call it? I was born during the yeah. I was born during the time in the 90s of where we were seeing like the Nintendo 64, and I think that was like the generation of this is where video games are changing. Like something's happening, and then the PlayStation comes out, and then Microsoft goes, well, hey, guess what? We have an Xbox, and then it's like, oh, really? Then we have, you know, PlayStation 2 came out, I think, before the Xbox. But anyway, like, you know, PlayStation's got, well, we have PlayStation 2. And then Sega's like, and we have, we'll see you guys in Mario and Sonic. But it's like, you know. But
that was a good move for them, honestly, to move off.
Well, it saved them.
It saved their butts.
Yeah. But, like, you know.
People are trying to say Nintendo should do that, and I'm like, no.
A lot of people say
no, they're not there yet.
No.
Not yet.
They're fine. Perfectly fine. With the 3DS being the #1 sold hardware, you're fine. But yeah, it was cool to see the third generation, like, actually remembering these consoles changing. And I got to see the PlayStation turn into the PlayStation 2. And I got to see the, you know, Xbox come out and the Xbox turn into the Xbox 360. And now we're in, you know, the generation of the PS4 and the Xbox One and the Wii U. And it's crazy to see, like, you know, oh, yeah, you want your controller to glow? Here you go. And, like, you want your controller to be wireless? Here you go. Walk around with it. Oh, you want your controller to 99% of the time work with Kinect, just to, then you can totally do that. But, like, it's cool that, yeah, sure, Kinect didn't catch on. Yeah, sure, the Wii didn't catch on. But, like,
the Wii caught on.
I mean, like, in the sense of, the most popular game for the Wii was the disc that came with the darn thing.
Yeah, I know. Wii Sports.
But anyway, you know, it's like it's cool to see those change, and it's cool to see that now we get to play these games that if it wasn't for the fact of the internet or Xbox Live or PSN or the reason why I don't know Nintendo's not catching on to the whole live thing, but it's cool to see indie developers being able to get the same chance as an EA title or as a Ubisoft title.
Like I can tell you, like now for the past couple of years, I am actually more stoked when we go to PAX. That is actually the area I care more about is the
PAX 10. Is that what it's called?
Like, well, yes, the PAX 10, yes, that too.
Shout out to PAX,
and also
anyway.
the mega indie booth is what they now call it too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which is a bunch of there's a bunch of video game developers all teamed up together to be in the same area, but they're all indie developers. That's actually I am more excited to walk over to their section than I am to go see AAA titles nowadays.
There was that zombie.
Really get me all like, what? I don't know why.
What was that zombie one that was for the iPad?
Took place
that
in
looked
Seattle,
really cool.
and zombies versus what? I don't know.
Yeah,
it was cool.
It was like a kind of like a tower defense, but not really. It was like place your zombies
cool.
here.
You could be the people who are
there was
raiding
like
the towers,
two stories
or
to
you
it.
could be the humans trying to survive.
Yeah.
And it had a really cool style to it. I have like the little buttons.
I have the button too. I signed up for their email. They haven't sent me an email. So. But anyway, I thought it was gonna be cool. But yeah, you know, going to PAX. If you ever get a chance to go to any PAX, whether that be PAX Australia, PAX East, or PAX Prime,
go.
Definitely go. We took a break this year because we've been to the past couple, so we're not going to go this year. But the thing is it's just great. It's a great time. If you get a chance to go to any con, really go to those video game cons. But being in Seattle, I mean, not really being in Seattle, but you know, being in the Washington area, the Pacific Northwest, it's really cool to be able to go to see like places like Microsoft or Valve or all these other things. Big Fish is like off on the dock. Like, have you seen Big Fish's?
No, I haven't.
It's literally like if you drive towards kind of where the beach is, there's like Big Fish is this huge building.
Oh, funny.
But anyway. But yeah, indie games. I'm sure honestly.
Actually.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
They have office. Nintendo of America's here too.
Well, yeah, that one I do, of course.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really, I think, kind of wrap it up here. But I'm totally on the indie bandwagon here.
Oh yeah,
I'm on the indie train.
It's kind of like, it's funny if you put it like in the same thing as kind of like in the music scene where, you know, I was into that band before they were invented.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Before they were invented.
It's like, yeah, I thought I was into that band before they were
I
invented.
came up with the name of that band.
It's like, you know, that whole thing. It almost like that. That's almost how I feel now. It's like how indie games become so big, but I'm like, dude, I've been playing indie games for a while now, and what I love about them is that there are people my age who are making those indie games, and they're making them for almost a lot of times. Those indie developers are making them for themselves, so they're almost like an artistic. They're more artistic. They gamble more, like on what they do. I think that's another thing why I think indie has become big is because AAA titles have been put in a box.
Yeah. And
then the publisher's like, this is what you have to do because it's a moneymaker. So you have to do this, and this, and this because it's going to make us money. Compared to indie guys are like, dude, we're going to do whatever the heck we want. Like,
and that's partially
like
one of the
Meat Boy. Like, we're going to make a game so freaking hard, we don't care.
Well, it's partially the reason why the creator of BioShock left and is now doing indie stuff. And I think also, you know, he said that, you know, that's what he wants to do. But anyway, this one
it's going to be interesting how the future pans out.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what comes from the mind of him. But because BioShock Infinite's one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you for listening. If you listened this far, thank you. Tune in every Monday. We have a new episode every Monday here at GDOCunited. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. Sorry again for the videos not coming out this month. You saw it in the first episode where it just died out on us. But we kept the show going.
We blame our guests for that.
We blame weed for that.
Yeah,
not blame weed. We blame the guy named Weed. Anyway.
Yes.
So we'll see you guys.
Yes, long story.
Hopefully next time. But yeah, comment what you guys, what indie game are you looking forward to? That's what I'm going to ask you guys for the end of this month. But anyway, definitely subscribe. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/GDOCUnited. On Twitter, @GDOCUnited. And we'll see you guys.
On facebook.com/GDOC.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Sorry.
But anyway, see ya.
Ciao.